there, y'all. We're back. Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Real Women, Real Talk. If this is your first time being with us, welcome. This is a place where you will be able to laugh and maybe shed a tear or two, be enlightened and inspired. And if you have been here before, not only welcome back, but thank you. Yes. And all of you, please feel free to invite another sister, invite another person to come and join us in this virtual sister circle. We are Real Women, Real Talk, and we create this safe space for you. In this podcast, we are an extension of Real Women Rock, our 501c3 that really seeks to create safe spaces for women to do personal development work on themselves. We call it soul work. And so welcome to a safe space. Yeah. My name is Trenace Richardson, and I am the founder of Real Women. And my co-host is
the amazing Shavon Carter, and I am one of the facilitators for Real Women.
Yes, she is. And we are so happy to be here with you. We are about to embark on episode 22, child. Ooh, that's a good number. That's a good number. Listen, so we remember when we did the numerology episode?
Yeah.
We've gotten some really good feedback on that one. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Yeah.
Yes, people are already taking those assessments.
Yeah. So we are in the 22nd episode, and we have wonderful things in store for you all. We have segments. We do these by segments. And so our first segment is called Real Talk, appropriately. And we first just check in to see how we are doing, both Shavon and I. And we also want to hear from you. So we'll give you an opportunity to share with you how you can talk with us, back to us. But first, Shavon, how you doing over there, girl? Real talk.
I am doing good, honey. I've been in this house. This is the first day I've gone outside since, I don't know, maybe last Thursday, Friday.
Oh, go ahead.
I be in the house. So hibernating. It's cold. It was snowing. And I don't like to be outside in the cold. I don't like to be cold. I don't really have cold clothes, even though you see this sweater dress I got on. I had to find this, but I don't have cold clothes. So I don't want to be outside. So I am feeling great. I'm nice and warm. I'm back inside now. I went out for a little while, but I'm back. So thankfully I can telework and just enjoy time in the house.
Oh, that's amazing. No, listen, I resent that I have winter clothes. Don't like it. I'm rolling my eyes at them all the time, like having to put them out like this daggone coat, daggone hat. I cannot believe it. I'm learning to appreciate all seasons because there's something to be appreciated about all of them. But as for me, my house,
right.
we look forward to the summer. Shoot. Okay, take it. So we're probably on the same page right now with this winter weather. We do want to know how you all are doing. It is an awesome way now that we have that you can share with us how you are doing. We just want to hear from you. So there'll be opportunities throughout this episode that you can talk back to us. The way that you do that is you going to the website, speakpipe.com/Real Women, Real Talk. When you go there, you will literally be able to start a recording. If it cuts off, that just means pick back up on part 2 and keep talking, share with us. We want to get those from you so that we can be informed about what you're thinking, how you're engaging with us. And who knows, we might be able to share just a little bit of it on the podcast. So please share with us there. And also go to our website, realwomenrock.org, to find out more about Real Women, the sister circles that we host, and to get more information about us. We are there. So we would love to hear from you. I want to dig. Yeah, go ahead, sister.
I gotta share this. I was thinking about this when you were telling them about speak pipe and how you may have to hang up and call back. So I was thinking about how when you're on the phone with your girlfriends and you get a drop call and be like, "Girl, my phone dropped." So what I was saying was, so that's what we want y'all to do.
All we want you to do. I love it.
Once you run out of time, just call back and pick up where you left off. Mm-hmm.
It was just a drop call. You was in a dead zone. Just pick it right back up. I love that. So use that, please, to talk back to us. I have loved seeing some of the YouTube comments and that kind of thing. And now we would love to hear your voice. That would be awesome. Yeah. Girl, I need to dig a little deeper into this real talk as we do, because I really have heard this a lot lately. I think it's been in a Real Women Sister circle. I think you may have mentioned that it's come across your either your view or your hearing recently. But I know a few women who have either retired from their jobs or are planning on retiring very soon. And they are just doing it or planning to enjoy life. You hear me, traveling and doing all the things. And so it made me think, I think it was in a Real Women Sister circle, someone said at 55, she retired and, she looked wonderful because, black don't crack. So she looks amazing. And so she's living her best life right now. And I thought, you know what? I'm only 5 years from that. That wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad to go ahead and plan a retirement. So my question to you is, just first, what do you think about that? And then what do you envision your retirement life looking like?
Oh my goodness. Listen, I am so excited about retirement and
you already planning it.
I'm already planning it out. I'm trying to figure out how I can get an early retirement from my current job. I'm working it out. I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the age and just like, Lord, it can happen if you say. So I'm thinking about that. And then transitioning into this second career of counseling, but I don't see myself like wearing myself out with that because I want to retire from my current job, have that little nest egg, and then do the counseling as I feel like it. And then I want to travel and I want to spend and I want to have days when I'm doing absolutely nothing. And just to have the freedom, because that's my have the freedom to just wake up and be like, you know what? I'm about to pack me a little bag and just get on the flight today. That's what I think I'm gonna do. Yeah, like that's what I look forward to. More spontaneity, adventurous life, hanging out with friends. Like I'm just about to pop up. Hey girl, what you doing? That stuff. So I just look forward to more flexibility to be able to travel and just do the things that I love to do.
Yeah, I love that. Freedom is your word. And so that encompassed everything that you said. What came to mind for me is the fact that retirement doesn't look the same these days as it has in the past. I think we are probably, I don't know if every generation is every 10 years. I think it's a little more than 10 years when you count the generations, but somewhere around our generations, maybe between the two of our generations, me and you, because I know we're some years apart. But before us, it was more about staying at a job for the straight 25, 30 years to get the retirement and the Social Security and to be able to live off of that. And since us, nobody's staying at nothing for 20 some years. And Social Security isn't saved up for everybody. If everybody went for Social Security, it wouldn't be there for everybody, right? So the way that it has been set up and taken away from. So I feel like we're in this middle crux of having some of us stayed at certain jobs perhaps long enough to have acquired the set retirements that the jobs have set up. But also, like you said, looking at other careers and all of that. So I just think it's a weird dynamic related to retirement that has different people at different stages looking at what it looks like for them differently. Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I remember my grandmother, bless her heart, she was just trying to work to get a pension, honey. And she said, Grandma said, I'm not going to even get remarried because I don't want nobody to take my pension. Well, Grandma, ain't nobody going to take it. You all right. It's safe.
Grandma.
Yes, but it's like you find that one good job, and like you said, you work it until you about in your 60s, and then you just go on and see what the end gonna be after that.
And child, they did not play about you switching jobs. How you leaving that good job? You know you ain't got but 10 more years, and you can earn your retirement. You better stay at that job. All this job hopping they doing these days. Shame of themselves.
Because these people these days, when I look at so I'm on interview panels and stuff at work, and I look at these resumes, honey, it's every 2 years they like I'm out, and I'm out.
I tell you, we right there in the middle where we know we appreciate what sticking with something looks like. And I think I can safely say we also understand what it looks like in this season to go for whatever the next thing is and just move for it. So it's really the middle. I think for me, freedom definitely, and my word for the year is abundance, right? So I really am looking forward to, in the not so distant future, praise the God,
say that.
to being able to, and we talked about this in the last episode, to be able to solely and primarily pursue my passions and my purpose. Just to be able to do that without any concern about income or all of those things, just to be able to pursue. And all of those things still are income generators. All of the things I believe that our passions and our purpose, I believe it can and should sustain us.
Absolutely.
And so I'm looking forward to that there will still be income coming in from that, but it'll be solely and primarily what I want to do. And then of course travel. I think we are twin flames when it comes to travel. We ready to go. Ready to go. So a lot of traveling, and I really want to show my son the world. Like I really want him to be able to see tons of places. And so me homeschooling him has allowed me to craft his school year, so that he can get up and go. It's me who has to plan, but I can take him wherever I need to take him. So abundant travel and pursuing purpose.
I love it, honey. And it is so. It shall be, for sure.
And it shall. Absolutely. So y'all, we want to hear from you when it comes to when you are done with the 9 to 5s and the hustle and bustle. What do you plan on doing? What will it look like for you? Maybe you are already in retirement. We want to know what you're doing with it. Did you start a second career, or did you decide to just chill out and travel? We want to know. So reach out to us at speakpipe.com/real women, real talk. That was a nice lengthy little segment. First segment. I like it. Okay, so we take it from real talk into our second segment, where we just take a deep dive into a topic that has possibly been shared at a Real Women Sister Circle. It could be in the future going to be shared, because we're both facilitators, so who knows, could be shared at a Real Women Sister Circle. It's something that we want to dig our teeth into, talk through with each other. And what I love about deep dives is that first of all, we love words, we love conversation, and this gives us an opportunity to kind of really dig in. So Sister,
Yes.
my topic for us today is, what is the difference between contentment and settling?
Woo, honey. Mm,
Hmm.
mm, mm.
Ciao, ciao, ciao. Okay. So let me set the stage. So first of all, um, I have been digging into this because we also have young adult real women,
Mhm,
and young adult real women caters to real women caters to all women, but
mhm.
we have a special emphasis on young adults ages 18 to 30, right? Because once you get
Right,
in your 30s, you like so
right.
to 30 something, right?
Yeah.
And so in the sister circle that we are holding for them, we're going to talk about relationships,
Mm,
and may have happened by the time that we record this. So I'll tell how it went in a later episode. But in preparing for that, I didn't just want to talk about, married relationships and single relationships and, being content, or I wanted to make sure I dug a little deeper. And so the word settling came up for me.
mm, mm, mm.
And the fact that, I think I may have mentioned it earlier, just the fact that some of us have the notion that there are more women than there are men. And
Mhm,
so on some level, it's this competitive market that in order for us to find someone, and then some of our childhoods are set up in such a way that we're not comfortable being without someone.
mhm,
And so we get into these relationships very early. Then you got Chester the molesters out here and
mhm.
predators out here who are looking for us as young as they can find us,
Yep.
and really ushering us into relationships, or whether sexual or emotional, before we're even ready.
Mhm,
And so it got me down this path, right? So, what does that look like and feel like to settle? Because there is some notion that contentment and being satisfied with what we have now is
mhm,
a virtue, and
mhm, mhm,
that there is something wrong with us if we are always looking outside of what we have right now for
mhm.
something more and something better.
Yeah.
So that rubber that meets that friction between those two, because I don't want to live my life unsettled and always, and not feeling content with what I have.
Mhm,
At the same time, I don't want to sit in anything, a relationship, a job, or anything, and think I'm supposed to be doing more, I'm supposed to have more, I'm supposed to
mhm,
be more, and
mhm.
just sit there because I'm supposed to be content. So
Yeah. Mhm,
my
mm,
first question to you is, what do you feel when you think of the two words? What do you think about the difference between the two? What
mm.
comes to mind?
Okay. So I always be like, I have been on both sides because I just have lived so much life. And so I have experienced so many things. I've been on both sides of settling and contentment. When I think of settling, I think of going against what my gut truly desires.
Mm.
That's how I define settling. So it's
Mhm.
not about, whether it be a relationship or a job, it's not about the shoulds of what people say. It's really about what I have gathered and identified that's really important to me. And
Mhm.
I'm denying myself of that, or I'm acting like that's not really important.
Mm, mm, mm.
So it feels like I'm settling because I am betraying myself and not being honest with me
Woo!
about what I truly want and need. Mhm.
Betraying myself.
I am betraying myself because I'm
Mm,
acting as if that's not important to me.
mm.
So go ahead.
I just need to say, one of the things that you just said, in order for me to identify that I'm settling, I had to make a decision or come to some conclusions about what I really want.
Yes.
That seems really important. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I have in the past, I have been in relationships where before I got into that relationship, I was like, okay, this is what is important to me: purpose and conversation and to feel connected and a whole list of things that I said I wanted, right? Purpose was always on that list.
Mm-hmm.
I have gotten into relationships where purpose was not a part of the other person's
Mm-hmm.
life and how they live. And what I did was I minimized what I said was important so that I can maintain the relationship with the person.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened, it sustained for a little bit until myself said, hey, hello,
Mm-hmm.
we still want this. So you can act
Mm-hmm.
like we didn't just have this conversation before we got into this relationship, but this is still important to us. And so it creates this inner conflict because now I'm in it. Now I'm 10 toes down in the relationship, but I feel like I'm settling because not a knock against the person, because there's nothing wrong with that person. I am just not honoring what I said was important to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's settling.
Mm-hmm.
And then contentment is when I feel settled within myself, in alignment, in a space of peace. I am content. I
Mm.
all is well with my world. So that's what contentment looks like and feels like.
So I just had two thoughts
Okay.
because you just used the word in the word. So
I did.
but I love it because there's a difference between, and I'm a word girl, so
Yep.
there's a difference between settling
Yes.
and being settled.
Settled. Yes.
So, and literally, I looked these words up. I'm not going to be able to do it now. I'm not going to try because I could recall them. But in my process of studying all of this, just the idea of being settled, because that's a gardening, that's an agricultural term as well. When the ground settles, it evens out. It's no longer ruptured. It's ready to produce because it's settled. It's versus me settling means I am not steady. I am not stable. I am not ready to produce. In fact, I am not firm at all. I'm just kind of in the wind blowing.
Yes.
I'm settling. I'm in the wind. And so that blessed me that you said that. And then I was thinking about the times in which, especially in my young adulthood dating, one of the ways that would cause me to settle is for somebody to tell me this ain't the dude for me.
Ooh.
Oh, wait a minute. So my mother learned early. What she did was she stopped critiquing negatively the guys that I was with, because she said what she learned was, as soon as she said she didn't like them, I loved them. I just loved it. I decided that was the dude for me.
The one for you.
I'm gonna show you how good he is. And so so the idea for me of settling in sometime was trying to prove other people wrong.
Wow.
I'm gonna make this work, even though I know within me this is not for me. Those are the two things that came up for me when you.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah. Good. You got me shaking my legs shaking under the table. This is good to me. Yes.
And I think it's good. Not only can we relate, but I think it connects so many of us as women to our experiences. We are all different. We've all had, different men. We've all been in different relationships, but I believe we can all relate at some point in time to this idea of settling or knowing that the relationship is not for us for whatever reason. Let me read you something I found in this article, and I want to try to give. It was from a website called The Knot. And this is how a relationship coach and licensed therapist describes settling in a relationship. She says, settling is when your wants, needs, and desires in a relationship are being chronically unmet because your partner is incapable of meeting them. She goes on to add, settling means there's a compatibility difference between you and your partner that's so significant that one of you is chronically sacrificing your needs in the relationship in order to maintain it.
Chronically sacrificing.
Chronically, because there's always a give and take in a relationship. But if you notice that you are always the one giving and never receiving, this is okay. I'm not going to read this whole article, I promise, but here's the last one. Settling isn't just resigning yourself to a lifetime of conflicting preferences in Netflix shows or cleaning up your partner's late night snack crumbs. It's deeper than surface level behaviors. It's a genuine disconnect in the way you two see the world. And yet, for many reasons, looking past this schism to believe that this person is worth pursuing a long-term relationship with.
Wow. And you were just talking about in the previous episode about when a person doesn't see the world the way that you do and how that can impact, you. And that's what this reminds me of.
Yeah. And what I think about is how do you, because, we can come to some terms with our resolve with this so that we can help equip our audience, right? So how do you come to terms with whether or not you're settling or what to do if you feel like you're settling? And I would say one of the distinguishing factors is to figure out why you are with the person. What is your why? What is the motivation or the intention behind the relationship? Because typically settling can look like out of obligation or out of fear. Fear not necessarily of the person, but fear of the unknown. I know this, this is known to me, so I know what to expect. I don't know what to expect if I leave this relationship. Well, that's not a real reason, to stick and stay. And I am not even, I make this distinction, and we'll talk about marriages at some point soon. But I'm not even, I'm not making a distinction right now between whether you are married or unmarried. I'm saying person to person in a relationship, there really has to be more there than just obligation.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So I think for me, the first step of acknowledging whether I am settling or in a space of contentment is checking in with myself, like having an honest check-in, because I can feel it in my body and know it in my Noah when the difference. Like right now, honey, I am just as content as a little baby bird. Like I am just I am so content, and I feel that thing, and it's not putting on, it's not performing, it is not just saying for the sake of saying. This is how I truly feel.
Mm-hmm.
And it exudes from me like this is me, this, but when I am settling, there is this wrestling within me that I am aware of, that I can't deny.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep coming back to the question, the little whisper of, but what about what we said? What about
Mm-hmm.
what we said we wanted?
Mm-hmm.
And some people ignore that voice. So what I would offer is, have a moment where you're checking in with yourself. If things were to never change, would you be okay with that situation?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
not worry about, because I know, like you said, it can create a lot of fear about what do I do with the answer that I probably already know. D-
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to do anything right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just ask yourself, just be honest with where you are and how you feel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Moves don't have to happen. Just right now, what is your truth? That's step one. And the other steps will come as you desire for them to. But yeah.
That's so good. And I would add to your just really checking in about, how you feel about it.
Mhm,
If you feel more resentful about
mhm,
your present and future
mhm,
rather than you feel excited or settled
mhm, mhm,
um, related to this relationship, then that might be a sign. Uh,
mhm,
and and if you're always thinking about the what ifs or the what could have been or all that kind of stuff, some of
mhm,
it is, they say relationships are a mirror. So I would also say counseling, uh,
mhm,
real women sister circles help a whole lot of women
mhm.
whose relationships are strengthened, and
Yep.
women who end up getting out of relationships and talking about the freedom involved in that,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
we've had
Good.
both happen.
Mhm,
um and so I think being, and we have had, let me just say this out loud,
mhm,
we have also had that wrestling happening in our sister circles,
mhm,
and women have chosen to stay in a captive type bondage. I'm
mhm,
gonna just
mhm,
be honest about it,
mhm.
because of the fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
And we've seen it all.
Yeah.
So whatever you are feeling or thinking, I
Mhm,
love what Shavon said. The first step is to just be honest with yourself
mhm,
about where you are and what you really want, and whether this in the long run, all relationships are work, all
mhm.
of them are, but could you live with this
Yeah. Yeah.
for
You
the
know what
rest?
that makes me think about too? So in relationships, I am more prone to be like, okay, let's check in. All right, I'm about to make a decision and get out of the relationship.
Mhm.
As it relates to my job, I feel like I am settling, right?
Mm, mm,
Because for all the reasons, it's just I feel like I am settling. It is not truly who I am.
mhm.
However, I am choosing not to jump out of the boat. I am developing a plan to transition into something else
Talk,
that
Siobhan.
feels more in alignment with me. So, settling doesn't always mean you have to leave that situation right now. It's okay, what are you going to do with this information? I understand that this career is not a lifetime career for me. And so I am devising a strategy to transition into the career that I feel is more in alignment. So settling may look like that too, where you're still in it, but you're, doing other things that fulfill you. I participate in Real Women, I travel. So I do other things that are more fulfilling so that I don't feel so just bogged down and in bondage by, my current job.
Child, you bless me, and I know you done bless some other women. That's a word. That's a word. That to have a plan, and to feel empowered by
Mm-hmm.
making some decisions rather
Mm-hmm.
than powerless. That's
Yeah.
really equipping yourself with some knowledge and resources so that you can move forward and not feel like you're jumping out into a darkness
Right.
that you can't anticipate. Yeah, I love this.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! So we hope that you have been encouraged and enlightened by this conversation related to contentment versus settling. And we really do on all of our topics, but we really do want to hear from you in our deep dives, because we want to know whether it's helpful, the conversation itself. We want your take, your tips, your suggestions. If you've done it differently than we've experienced, we want to hear that too. Go to speakpipe.com/real women, real talk. We cannot wait to hear from you. If it cuts off on you, just pick it up again and keep talking. Share with us what your thoughts are about contentment and settling. That was good.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that was good. I love that. I can't wait to hear from y'all.
Yes. Okay. So I took a stab at a scenario, sister.
Oh, come on with it. Come on, sister.
Look at me.
Yes.
Okay, so this is our third segment, you all, and it is called Put Myself in Her Shoes. We have some fun with this. It sometimes ends up being very instructive and not just kiki. And we really take an opportunity to put ourselves in the shoes, whether it is a current event or a trending question or a scenario that we have either found or put together. And I think this kind of aligns with where we've been, even in the last episode, and where we are in this episode. It kind of flows into each other. It just kind of shows we on the same wavelength, sister. I'm
Yes.
loving it. So let's just talk about it. So Sarah is our girl we're going to talk to today, talk about.
Okay.
And Sarah has a great 9-to-5 job that is aligned with her education and her experience, and it keeps her bills paid. And Sarah lives a very comfortable middle-class lifestyle. She doesn't necessarily want for anything. She can go to Starbucks. She can shop there on Amazon. She's okay. She's doing all right. She is married, and she has adult children and school-age children. So she has a span of children, and she spends her extra time in service to others in the community and has an active social. She sounds like our Nita girl from the last episode.
Right.
She has an active social calendar, so she keeps herself busy. Anyone looking at Sarah's life would think she has it all. But Sarah longs for more and different. She wants to pursue a whole nother career in fashion and interior design. She realizes that this pursuit requires time and resources and maybe even schooling that would take away from her current responsibilities, maybe her family income, and maybe eventually cause her to quit her job altogether. That would make money very tight for their household. It might possibly require some major changes in the way they would live. What would you do if you were in Sarah's shoes?
So the first thing that comes to mind is this is a life or death situation.
Woo!
Because if I'm putting myself in Sarah's shoes, I'm doing all the things, but I might be dying inside because I'm not doing the thing that I really want to do.
Woo!
So it's life or death. And so the question I would have to ask myself is, which one am I willing to choose? Because if I continue doing the things and making everybody else comfortable and deny myself, I am doing myself and my family a disservice because I'm not honoring me. And that's going to show itself in different ways. I might be snapping at these kids. I'm snapping at my husband. I'm maybe feeling a little low energy. It's going to come out in some kind of ways, or maybe I'm overcompensating and being so focused on my children that I'm not focusing on myself. So it can come out in so many different ways, but ultimately it will be to Sarah's, my detriment, if I don't give myself space to at least explore fashion and interior design. Even if it's just a class or taking up a hobby or something, like having that outlet, I gotta find it, because if I don't, I'm gonna suffer inside.
Ooh, why you had to start it like that? Good Lord, that was so
First thing that
good.
came to mind. Yeah, it's life or
So
death.
good. So good. Sarah, I'm thinking of the way that you said this often. So I have found myself on both sides. No, I can so relate to Sarah. And what I like about this scenario is it really is not about her children or her husband. It really is not about them, because when I am my best self, my husband and my children benefit from that.
Yes.
And I don't even realize how good it could possibly be until I venture over into that space.
Yes.
Like, I can only imagine putting myself in her shoes. I can only imagine what life would be like if I were in fashion and interior design. And so I'm making up this stuff in my head about what's taken away, what we're going to have to do without.
Yeah.
Not realizing that by venturing into that space, that I'm going to be gaining some things that I can't even see yet.
Right.
Because I'm not over there.
Come on.
Yeah. And so the how of it, because I know that there are women listening who have been in this space, because we are never just talking to ourselves about ourselves, ever. Not here, not in a Real Women Sister Circle. It's always somebody that connects.
Yeah.
And so the how of it ends up being the really difficult part. And I think that when you are in obligated relationships, long-term relationships, where you have committed yourself and you have aligned your lives in some way, shape, or form, or when you have children that you have to think about, like, how does this affect them and my time with them, or they're only this age for a little while, or they need my financial resources for this and that, and I don't want them to go without. When you have all of those other obligations, the first thing that has to happen in my mind, for me anyway, are conversations.
Yeah.
We got to start talking about this stuff and getting it out of us, even to our children, because first of all, they're smarter than we give them credit for.
Yes.
And then second of all, we are exempling for them what it means to pursue and we talked about this last episode, to pursue personal purpose and personal passion. Like, what? So Sarah, me, I have to think, would I want my child to lose themselves in a job that they are not called to do, in a life that they are not called to live? Would I want that for my child? So I need to example for my child what that looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's tough, but that's a real scenario. We're praying for you, Sarah.
Because I bet you there are so many Sarahs. We've heard it in the circles. There are so many Sarahs out there. We have been Sarah in different ways. So it's like
Yes.
we can identify with this feeling. But honey, you got to lean into something related to what you truly desire.
Woo. Lean in. Lean in.
Mhm,
This is
mhm.
so good. So listen, this episode, we are ending this episode with a spiritual nugget, and there has been so much goodness shared already. I'm wondering, sister, does a word, a thought, does something come up for you? I'm still rocking from side
Me
to
too. I'm
side and
shaking
back
my
and forth.
leg. Shaking.
Anything come to mind?
Absolutely. Something that you just said is what I'm feeling. You don't even know what's on the other side.
Mm,
You don't know what creativity, you don't know what possibilities, what opportunities are on the other side of you saying yes to yourself. You do not have to settle. You don't. You
mm,
do not have to die a slow death living a life that you don't desire to. You don't.
mm,
You don't even know the level of freedom and peace and abundance that is on the other side
mm,
until you take a step.
mm,
You won't know. You can tell yourself all of these things to keep you comfortable and safe and protected, and you can choose to just take one step towards what you say you desire.
mm,
You don't have to jump, you don't have to take a big plunge. Do what you feel is your very next step.
mhm,
That's it. Even if
mhm,
it's just dreaming of a different way,
mm,
even if it's just creating a vision, you don't even have to do that. Even if you just imagine your life in a different way, give yourself permission to dream again,
mm,
even if it's that, to feel all the feelings associated with what you desire, even if it's just that. You have permission to do that. You can give yourself permission to do that. So that's what I would offer you today.
mm. Whew. We challenge you, encourage you, admonish you to dream again. It's okay to dream again. Mhm.
Mhm.
Thank you, sister. Whew. Mm. Okay, I'm going to try to do this. Y'all, share this with somebody who needs to hear it.
Mhm.
Um, listen to it again for yourself. I listen to our episodes because they bless me.
Yep,
And
me
this
too.
is one I'm going to listen to again.
Mm.
So thank you for that, sister.
Mhm. Yeah.
Whew. So, y'all, this has been another episode of Real Women, Real Talk
Mhm.
because we are real women.
And real women talk and dream.
Mm. And dream. Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Mhm.
Um, y'all, just check us out. Go to the website. Come follow, share, like, connect with us in some real substantive ways. Every second Saturday, we have a virtual sister circle where you can connect with us. You can find all of that information on our website at realwomenrock.org. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you next time.
Bye,
Bye.
y'all.